All right, folks, back here at the Cornerstone Dink and Rally, we've got ourselves a 4-5 match here. Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz against Harris and Hendricks. I believe Hendricks has the hat on, playing with the Selkirk 002, and Hendricks is the guy in the tights and the knee pads with a Yola paddle. Right now we've got Roy and Fritz on the far side. Fritz returning serve, and we're about ready to kick it off. So here we go, 0-0-2. And we've got a first serve, miss serve. So right here we've got Fritz now starting 0-0-1. Got ourselves a nice point there. Ended by Patrick Roy putting a small backhand into the net. 0-0-2. And a great backhand flick speed up from Patrick Roy, and Harris unable to catch up to it. Patrick Roy again with the great hands, and the ball is hit long. Forehand volley just way too high, way too hard. Zach Fritz with a huge swing. Patrick Roy with an excellent backhand flick there. And a nice Ernie by Harris here. Zach Fritz misses his forehand low into the net. 0-2-1. Zach Fritz with a forehand that just hits the fence. There's very little control on that ball. Definitely needs to come down a few notches if he wants that forehand to land in. Score is 1-2-1. Patrick Roy receiving. Great return there. Pretty decent lob, but a lot of power coming from this side of the net. That Selkirk paddle just absolutely eliminated that pickleball. 2-2-1 here. Zach Fritz and a little bit of that forehand dink rally. And great hands, but once again, the power a little too much from Harris and his partner. A great forehand finish right up the middle. We've got 3-2-1 here. A great backhand finish from Zach Fritz. Great ball. 3 coming down. A great sweeping forehand coming into the net there. Zach Fritz and Patrick Roy have no idea what happened there. Right now we've got 4-2-2. Jayson Harris with the serve. And that ball looks to be out. The double Ernie attempt, not something you see a whole lot, but right there, Zach Fritz and Patrick Roy smart enough to let that ball go out. A great launch from Zach Fritz. A hell of a lot of pace coming on that ball straight across. Just not able to be handled on this side of the net. A great serve from Zach Fritz. Jayson Harris getting moved all over the place, and that is a wide dink there. His forehand just got a little errant on that small half volley. Zach Fritz serving at 4-4-1. I'm not really sure what the call was. That ball was clearly in. Yeah, a great finish from Zach Fritz on the other side of the net. Great angle, absolutely unreturnable. We've got 5-4-2. A great drop from Fritz. An excellent, excellent speed up backhand flick by Patrick Roy, unable to be handled on this side of the net. Jayson Harris very, very excited to try that forehand Ernie. So far he's had one be successful and he hasn't gotten the other 5. 4-6-1. That's the second successful Ernie, but he's got 6 attempts. I'm not really sure if that's a shot he should be going for. 5-6-1 here. Patrick Roy, a great ball. An attempted shake and bake from Grant and Jayson Harris. Just not really working. 5-6-2. A nice drop. A Russian crush there. A Riley Newman style pancake forehand for the winner up Zach's sideline. And we've got a pretty tight game here at 6-6. Yeah, great read right here. You know what? Now that I think about it, it might not be a tactic to get Jayson Harris a bunch of Ernies. It might be more of a distraction tactic, because right there, it worked to perfection. But for right here, just a lot of pace coming from these forehands. Not a lot of targeting right now going on. Zach Fritz and Patrick Roy need to figure out a solution for this Ernie play at 6-7-1. Zach Fritz almost with an excellent pickup there, but the power from Grant a little too much coming down. And that's an excellent around the post from Patrick Roy. An inside-out forehand dink just sails wide, and Patrick Roy takes full advantage of it, slapping a backhand around the post. Almost unreturnable. 7-7-2. Real tight game here. Another inside-out dink, but this one catches Patrick Roy unawares, and he's unable to even touch it. So great inside-out dink there. Very nice ball. 7-7-1, serving to Patrick. Onto Fritz's backhand. A speed up right through the middle is easily handled by Zach Fritz. And now we're showcasing some backhands, which we weren't seeing a whole lot of. Patrick Roy read it like a book, and he just misses his volley a little too low. 8-7-1 here. And a missed drop shot from Grant. And the ball is just too low. Unplayable. And an attempted Russian crush is just not gonna work on Zach Fritz and Patrick Roy. That's the second or third time I've seen that attempted Russian crush, and it just has not panned out for this team. We'll see if they can change up the game plan and do something a little different. But Zach Fritz missing a drop. Pretty unorthodox mistake from him. We'll see what they can generate here. Another good Ernie there. Believe that's the third Ernie for this game for Jayson Harris. An excellent ball for him. All of them on Zach Fritz. 8-7-1 is the score call. That is the first successful rushing crush on Patrick Roy, where he was unable to get that backhand around in time to volley that thing through. A great shot here from Grant. (9-7-1). A good shot there from Grant. Patrick Roy really had no idea where that ball was going to go. A really nice disguise from Grant. And here we've got game point at 10-7-1. And a missed dink is going to end game one. 11-7. Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz go down, and we'll see what they can come back with in game two. Here we've got the start of game two. Jayson Harris and Grant take game one. Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz go down. Something to be mentioned though is Patrick Roy is having some major allergy issues. His eyes are extremely puffy, and that's a pretty hard way to play pickleball, is when you're losing sight of the ball, because you've got a couple things going on with your eyeballs. He said it's allergies, but we've got 0-0-1 here. A great forehand right up the sideline by Zach Fritz. We would call that dirty. A great return by Patrick Roy. A lot of pace coming back. Zach Fritz goes for the backhand overhead. A very tough shot in pickleball, even on the best day. And with the wind and everything, that's a tough shot to hit in today. 102, and Zach Fritz misses a little low here. We'll see what kind of adjustments Patrick and Zach can make. 2-0-2. A great recovery, a good Ernie attempt by Jayson Harris, but Patrick Roy is just sitting waiting for it on his forehand. Unsuccessful there. Right here, Zach Fritz with a great ATP. Didn't even move his feet and just slapped that ball around. Excellent shot by Fritz. Patrick Roy goes for the poach, and unfortunately he made Grant look at him. That's a great deception tactic. Great ball there by Patrick Roy. Way to stay home. Now we're back in this dink rally, and we'll see. Patrick makes an early error in that dink rally. Sounds like 2-2-2. A very easy overhead slam for Jayson Harris. Really able to just put that ball wherever he wanted. 2-2-1. Another great around the post. This one hit by Grant. But for right here, we've got a small timeout while Patrick Roy takes allergy meds for his eyes. Folks, I wish you could see it. His eyes are humongous. I'm not sure how the man's even playing pickleball, let alone able to see. So hats off to him for even being able to hit some of these volleys. And here we've got a restart of 2-2-2. Grant serving to Patrick Roy. And a quick trigger pull by Grant, just right in the net. If you're going to speed that ball up, make sure that ball goes over. Great ball there. An easy unforced error from Patrick Roy. Another unforced error by Patrick Roy, missing a third short into the net. The tape really stopped that ball. Great backhand roll there. And now we're back into the same pattern where Zach Fritz is dinking. That's a great hook by Grant. Just out of the reach of Patrick Roy, just unable to even get himself to that ball. A great call by Patrick Roy. That ball is not in. Well done leaving that ball and letting it go long. A great defensive point played by Zach Fritz, and then he misses a dink. This is the unfortunate part about missing easy shots, is you can dig out all the hard ones, you can dig out the impossible ones, and then all of a sudden you miss the easiest shot in your repertoire that you've hit 100 different times. A great lean-in forehand by Zach Fritz to put that ball away. A great reset drop. Patrick Roy, a great ball. Stays home for that inside-out forehand. A great dig out by Patrick Roy, but again tries to lob it back, and that ball is way deep back to the fence. 2-4-2. And the ball is out. Very smart play by Grant letting that ball bounce. And here we've got another drop. A great setup there by Patrick Roy's backhand roll. Attacks Grant, gets that ball to pop up to Zach Fritz's forehand. Right there, Grant gets yet another Ernie on Zach Fritz, and you can see the frustration boil over for Patrick Roy. Throws his hands in the air, and he's about seen enough of that Ernie so far. That is a great poach from the shortest player on court. A pretty amazing forehand, and it looked like he framed it to me, but great shot by Jayson Harris. A great ball there by Zach Fritz. Definitely pulled out some frustration on that ball and just let it rip right at Grant. Looks like he hit him in the hand. 2-6-1 here. Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz in quite a hole. But right there, a great finish from Grant. No way for Patrick to get himself involved. Take away some of the court. And a missed drop shot from Patrick Roy. That is what you can't happen when you are the isolated player. When you are the isolated player and you're not seeing as many touches as you think you should, you can't be missing the easy shot that you get. It's not about pulling the trigger and just attacking everything you see, but from right there, you've got to be able to play it. You've got to be able to have the right analysis for the right shot. And Patrick Roy misses a big backhand there. They've got a serious hole now of 7-2-2. That's a 5-point deficit for Roy and Fritz. A great dig out there from Grant, and this is where they are targeting Zach Fritz very heavily. And the speed up from Grant is hit long by Patrick Roy. That backhand was just a little too late. 8-2-2 here, 3 points away. A great block from Patrick Roy. A great block from Patrick Roy. And unfortunately, just went a little wide for Fritz's coverage. 9-2-2. Grant serving. And another floated response. Jayson Harris with the poach right back at Patrick Roy. And we've got game and match point, 10-2-2. And there they had the winner. They had the game ender sitting on Grant's paddle, and he puts his Ernie long. Unfortunate, but now we've got 2-10, a chance for rebuttal from Fritz and Roy. Zach Fritz with yet another ATP, I believe his third or fourth of the game, goes a little wide. 2-10-2. We're on our last hope and breath here for Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz. We'll see if they can conjure up a little magic. And a great finish from Patrick Roy. Two incredible defensive pickups from Harris and Grant. But right there, that shot just proves to be a little too much. And there's Fritz missing a forehand drop. And now we're back on to Jayson Harris, game and match on his paddle. And Fritz dumps the ball with his backhand, and that's it. Patrick Roy and Zach Fritz drop down to the opportunity bracket or the back draw, and Jayson Harris and Grant are moving on in their bracket. So best of luck to them the rest of the day, and we'll tune back in with a back draw match.